Solo camping in a Toyota Yaris at Waller's Cove.
Today's video covers adventure, foraging, car camping tips, treasure, literature, art, cooking, health tips, action, plants, archery, and more.
Well friends, today we are solo camping in the wilds of British Columbia. I'm not bike packing today, I'm not doing an adventure. I'm in the Yaris and I'm at this spot, which I'll give you a tour. But essentially today we're going to be camping. Actually tonight we're going to be camping, and next night we're going to be camping. And I'm going to take you along with me. We'll have fun, we'll have food, we'll have stories, we'll have education, we'll have the whole 9 yards. It's going to be unbelievable. We've got the tripod, so we can get some tripod shots. We've got the camera, we can get some handheld shots. It'll be a blast, but let's give you a tour of the place. So I'm actually unbelievably spaced out here, which I don't know if it's a good thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I've got the Yaris right here. This is going to be the shelter for the night. Coming over here, I've set up the hammock. Are you going to sleep in the hammock? No, I've never slept in the hammock. I just use it to sit and enjoy and observe like all good campers should. Over here, we have a bit of ingenuity. I had this old skateboard deck in my car, taking up precious space. So I took it out and we are using it as a horizontal table-like surface to throw some items. We've got, this was breakfast, Maynard's world famous wine gums. You know, the first two are good, but then they're just greasy and, you know, you feel like after eating a whole bag of them. Little JBL, so I can blast some terrible music to keep passerby at bay. I'm reading this Value Village special, The Circumnavigators, Brief History. Yeah, good read. It was like, I don't know, a good read. Local history, Okanagan history books, basically the region where I'm at right now. But a lot of them are boring stories about someone's grandpa. But some of them are actually interesting, so you have to pick and choose your battles with that one. Lamp. It's supposed to be a solar charger, but it's been in the sun. The bloody heat all day, 40 degrees Celsius heat all day. And it has not charged at all. So, might be a gimmick on Duracell's part. We've got some toilet paper here. We've got a mostly drank little Pepsi Zero. We've got my shoes over here for some reason. Chair, which I've been sitting in, but I'm trying to avoid the sun because I don't know if you can tell on camera, which you can't, but it is very, very hot out today. And also there is a campfire ban in effect, so I don't want to get fined $1 billion, so I can't have a fire. Also, we've got a little beach over here, towel, and there's your stream. Now, how do you sleep in a very tiny little sedan Yaris? Well, here's what you do. You take out the back seats, and this is a new innovation from this trip. This is the inflatable mat that did not fit in my tent, so I crammed it in the Yaris, and it kind of makes a good, decent enough-ish sleeping surface. Before I just had like random foam boards and towels and blankets piled up to make like a hamster's nest that went all the way back to the trunk. But this kind of makes it an official bed in a way, so that's cool. I'm gonna switch into my hiking shoes here so we can go on a little adventure. Nothing too big, because again it is sweltering outside, very hot. We might have to go in the river at some point, but I kind of want to check out the surroundings. Maybe find a cool item, maybe find a cool animal, maybe find treasure, find some more scrap metal that we can sell for 98 cents. Really, the world is our oyster out here. Now, are DCs the best hiking shoe for the job? Yeah. The thing I like to do is I like to name all the camping spots I go to, even if they already have a name. So I'm gonna call this one Waller's Cove. We are walking down a road right now. We are headed, we'll say west from Waller's Cove. We are actually headed south from Waller's Cove. So this is under a bridge. So I've walked down to another camping area, I guess. User established, I'm sure. Definitely not provincial. But they do have these signs up that say no campfires, and they have signs that say game cameras in area. So this is a known spot, but if you see what I see, you know why I'm hyped. Who knew you could find such things randomly in the forest? Who knew? This is hype. This is the definition of hype. It's not that fun. It's got a little board swing. Okay, this is hype. This is fire. I'm putting too much faith in these ropes. If I break my wrist, I'm screwed. That's enough fun for one lifetime. And just like that, the road has ended. So, I guess it turns into a path. Could be wrong, nope. But you can still keep going. Should have brought my machete so I could cut through this overgrowth. We can manage. We can manage easy. So long as we don't come face to face with a saber-toothed tiger or mountain lion or something like that. We're in the Deadwood. Deadwood's Landing. So the reason I'm in the Yaris, actually one of the reasons, is I was Googling bear attacks on campers, and there's tons of articles, not tons, maybe like 7 or so. Some of them were brutal. Man wakes up to bear inside his tent. Man wakes up to bear scalping him in his sleep. No bear, I don't care how strong, is getting into the Yaris. No polar bear, no black bear, no grizzly bear, no spirit bear can ever make it into the Yaris. The Yaris is a fortress. No man nor beast can enter without my permission. Our trail kind of dwindled out into a deer trail thing, so we're gonna head back. This shrub used to have soap berries on them, and the thing about soap berries is that they taste bitter and horrible, but they're technically edible, and you can like grind them into a paste and make something that also doesn't taste very good. The other word for soap berries is spoolali or spoolali or something like that, but the point remains that they do not taste very good. I was hoping to find some raspberries or salmon berries because they grow around here too, but so far, no luck. I guess the bears and the ferrets have gotten to them before I could. I found one. Some shiny reds. Let's give it a taste. Nice shiny red. Tiny little red soapberry. Let's give it a little test. You can tell it's a soapberry because it tastes extremely bitter and it doesn't taste very good. Okay, I'm not joshing you guys. We got the plant. Supolali. Supolali. Or Supolali. Okay? Looks like that, remember? Fruits, bright red, translucent, oval berries, juicy, but extremely bitter and soapy to the touch. Supalali has bacterial nodules in its roots that capture nitrogen from the air. All interior native groups whip up the berries with a little water into a light froth called Indian ice cream. The berries are rich in iron and were either eaten fresh, dried for later use, or boiled into a syrup for use as a beverage. I can't imagine that it would taste very good, but there you go. You too know now that you can eat supalalis. I think I saw some Saskatoon berries over there, so I'm gonna use this book to confirm. But I already sort of put one in my mouth, so if they're poisonous, then I'm screwed. What do you mean the berries are berry-like, but they're also apple-like? So that's the book, and that's real life. All right, let's give it a shot. Saskatoon, going in. It's definitely a winner. I approve. Here's the book, by the way. I was gonna make this for dinner, but I'm thinking, nah. Well, I drew a picture. I drew a picture of a Pirate's Cove or something. I don't know. But I've been doing that for the past little bit. That's what I do when I'm camping. I just draw random silly little pictures, my silly little book. But I think for dinner, we're gonna have this smart food, complete with warning labels, high in fat and sodium. But look, only $3, which is a ripoff, but whatever. I'll enjoy this food. I think our lovely river is a great place to enjoy our delicious dinner. Actually, this is the worst popcorn I think you can buy that comes pre-popped. The Boom Chicka Pop is better. The PC brand is better. Basically, this is the worst option you can get, but it's the only option they had at the dollar store. So woe is me. I'm gonna go crack that open, and I'd be remiss if I didn't get a nice third-person eating shot. Now, the thing about sleeping in the Yaris is that it works, there's enough space, but there's barely enough space for all your stuff. And if you have a ton of stuff and random crap like I do, then it makes it even harder. I guess you could build like a storage system, but even if you have top-notch organization, there's still not a lot of space. The trade-off is it's cheap on gas, I guess. And yeah. I'm thinking about getting a new car, like a minivan or an Astrovan. Even though they're more expensive on fuel, it might be worth it because this car is just a bit too cramped, but at the same time, like, it completely works. Like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not in pain, and I could make it more comfortable if I wanted to. My problem here is that I've got this foam mat that goes across the bottom seat, and then I have this cooler, but it's just slightly taller than this, so it gives my bed this stupid kink. So I might experiment with taking out the cooler and putting something else in there. I don't know, we'll see. But I did do a road trip in the Yaris. I drove all the way to San Francisco and back in the span of about 7 days. And I managed to stealth camp sleep in my car at rest areas. I made window covers for the windows. I might show you that later. But I made window covers the cheapest way possible out of dollar store poster board, which is essentially black paper and duct tape. And then I had a window block at the back. And then actually it's still in here. I have a curtain rod with this black curtain that it'll block out the front. If you're trying to do a stealth mode camp and you have front window covers and you do the reflective cover the windshield, it makes it a lot more obvious than if the front is just open, because it looks like a parked car with tinted back windows instead of a completely covered window car that looks extremely suspicious. Okay, here's an example of a window cover I made. I mean, it looks terrible right now because it's been smashed in the back of my car for the past several months, but it'll still work, and it's just black paper basically covered in black duct tape. So let's put this in and see if it'll still give you stealth. I mean, you don't have to do this. Don't do this if you're in the woods because it's pointless. And if you're in the woods, you have to have a watchful eye in case any lions come up. Okay, so this is backwards because I think I intended for the tape to go on the outside. Walking by, this looks terrible right now because it's the paper side. Still, it's way better than having nothing here at all. Okay, actually, I found the side that will fit this window for actual stealth mode. So let's see if it still holds up. Okay, there's the window cover with the duct tape on the outside. I mean, it still looks not good. You can still clearly see it's duct tape, but if you're not paying attention, you can easily be fooled. You can build window covers out of the Reflectix foam thing from Home Depot. That's what everyone on Reddit tells you to do. However, it's expensive, and those Reflectix foam thingies take up a ton of space and they're loud. Also, be careful covering stuff with duct tape or Gorilla Tape or those types of tape, because in the heat it will, I don't know, melt the duct tape or something, and it'll give off fumes, and your whole interior of your car will end up smelling like gross, hot duct tape adhesive. That's what happened in my old setup. I don't know why I'm not getting it from this setup, but that can happen. Another thing I'll say about sleeping in your car is a more psychological thing that no one talks about. But when you're in your car or in a cramped little Yaris, like me, you probably have to sleep on your back, and you're probably nervous because you're sleeping in your car. You know, wild animals, freaky people could show up in the middle of the night and attack you, so you're probably on edge and you're sleeping on your back. Well, actually, when you sleep on your back, you're more prone to nightmares and night terrors and sleep paralysis and stuff like that. So if you're sleeping on your back and you're anxious about people coming up to your car in the middle of the night and going like, then you might be susceptible to vivid night terrors of demons trying to attack you in your car. This happened to me one time, and it freaked me out so much that I thought I had to go home, but I realized it's just in your head. It's just a dream. Also, another tip, if you're going on a multi-day adventure, sleeping in your car, and it's the summertime, and you're doing active stuff throughout the day, I'd recommend to get a carrier for the outside of your car or the top of your car to put your dirty clothes in. Otherwise, your car will just smell horrible. It'll smell like hell in there. If you have your dirty, sweaty clothes in there, you're sleeping in there, you're breathing in there. It's generally not a very sanitary environment. USB fans are good, but at the end of the day, it's a small space. And if you smell bad, the car will smell horrible. You can buy these little air freshener puck things from the dollar store that will sort of mask horrible smells if your car smells terrible because you're living in it. Also, another thing to consider is condensation. Typically, it happens in more humid environments. If you have all your windows closed up and you're sleeping in the morning, you'll see that there is condensation on the inside of your windows, which is annoying to dry off. But what you can do is you can get a thing called a damp rid from the dollar store, put it in your car, and that'll suck up moisture as you sleep. Another method is to just crack the windows very slightly if you can. This tree is so injured and abused. It's just bleeding sap everywhere. It's disgusting, it's sticky. It's getting my hammock straps all greased up. Oh, look. We found a treasure, guys. I didn't even notice this until I started filming. But it is a little chibi rabbit. little chibi translucent exclusive diamond gem of an item. I will put this in my diamond gem of an item collection. Alright, I'm gonna try and slingshot this Pepsi can bottle from over here. I did it one time, but the camera was not rolling because it took me way too long. Let's see if I can get it a bit quicker than that. Oh, first try. Awesome. We are headed down the track to see if there's any more treasures at this spot. We have a painted rock. Da Ra Sayoa. We've got some more Saskatoon berries because we do a lot of learning. Whoa, that was a fast focus. Good job, camera. We do a lot of learning on the channel. Waterman's Beach over here. Someone made a sandcastle. Another painted rock. This one is a sort of effortless one. Ooh. This is like a good piece of metal here. That's like a solid fingerboard curb. There's always fun things to find at these campsites. Lots of fun treasures left behind. What do you think? What do you think I could scrap this for? 2 cents? Probably. Alright, it's getting a bit dark out, so now we're gonna have to rig up some electronics. So I've got 3 cables, iPhone cable, 2 USB-C cables, because I've got this string light thing, and my Bluetooth speaker is blinking, so I'll plug that in. Now the thing with the string lights is you gotta fandangle, finesse a weird way to string them up every time, depending on the situation. Aesthetic warning. Aesthetic warning. Whoa. Isn't that just Pinterest worthy? That is Instagram Explore page worthy. Now these lights aren't that bright, but they do offer some glow. This beast, on the other hand, is blindingly bright, but it creates really harsh shadows. So I'm thinking I might be able to put this green bag over it and make a lampshade. Yeah, I don't think the green method worked. We just have a giant glowing slime entity. I guess, I don't know, we'll see when it hits, you know, pitch darkness. But, I don't know. Warning, we have entered the Yaris, aka the green zone. I know, guys, very aesthetic. Try not to get jealous challenge. Got my sleeping hat on, psych. I had to jump in the whip early because I was hearing wolverines in the bushes, I'm pretty sure. What more could you possibly want? You've got your cooler here, your EcoFlow for your electricity, your green lantern to keep away ghouls, a Bluetooth speaker. Sometimes I do like to keep the machete on the dashboard, but nope, today we just got the hat. But we always, non-negotiable, always carry the lucky totem. This is some sort of squid octopus little plush thing that I got at the dollar store in 2021. And it lives in the rear of my car. But it is so sun damaged at this point. It's like a different shade of pink. The totem also has a evil mode. And this is cursed. This is bad luck. It's sort of like the yin yang the Taoists were preaching about. Good morning. It is 10:17. Let's see my sleep score for last night. Those of you that don't know, this watch gives you a score on how well you slept. That is a pretty good score. 84. I think last night it was 60 something. HRV. Hold on. The thing about this book is it's good, but it's literally falling apart. Like pages are coming out of it, which is annoying because it's a good read, but it is self-destructing. I was originally gonna make some coffee, you know, a nice pour over brew, but it's too hot, so I just drank Pepsi. So basically same thing. And today's food is this box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch I found in my car. This should sustain us for the entire day. I will admit this trip we're going a bit on the unhealthy side, but what can you do? You know, it's a vacation or something. Okay, I changed my mind. We're actually gonna do a nice brew over here for some coffee. So this is the method. So you get your pot, you put water in it, obviously. Throw the lid on there. Thermodynamics, we wanna have that thing boiling. Turn on your butane burner thing that has infinite fuel, knock on wood. And we're gonna let that boil up like you do. Our beans of the day come from Horton himself. This is your original blend. Is it the original blend? No, but you know, it'll serve its purpose. All right, once it gets to a point where it's, actually don't listen to me, I don't even know what I'm doing. In the past, I've done it where it's boiling, and the problem with that is it's too hot. So we're gonna try it when it's pre-boiled. So we're gonna add our little brown to the top. Notice, eyeball it. You know, I like a rich brew, so come on. And no, we're not gonna be chewing on grounds. This is elite woods-bound outdoors YouTube Shorts knowledge right here. So stick with me. Let's give it a nice bonus. There you go. Throw the lid on for another minute. Let it aromatize. We got our dirty Yeti coffee mug. We've got our thing we just made. Let's give it a nice overhand pour. We may or may not be getting some grounds. It's got a nice mysterious foam on top. I'm getting a lot of, not a lot, but a non-insignificant amount of coffee grounds. I can live with it, the flavor's fine. I did a good ratio, it's good temperature. There's definitely more grounds floating in it than when I've made it previously. I don't think I got it hot enough to have the chemical, physical reaction of me pouring the water on it and make, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. It's better than instant coffee. Instant coffee is way too sour and tastes like chemicals. This, you know, it's right from Horton's. It's brewed fresh, like the way it should be, like the way it was intended to be. So this is the way.